So we have a big breaking news coming out. This coming September could spell big trouble for the world, as Holy Land is being pressured to be divided. At the same time, there will be a lunar eclipse, blood moon, September 2025. Wow. Now this is Bible prophecy. At the same time, there are some earthquakes and volcanic activity happening in various places. Russian volcano erupts for the first time in 600 years, sparking tsunami warning. At the same time, 3.0 magnitude earthquake strike New Jersey, tremor felt in parts of New York. At the same time, 2 of Indonesia's most active volcanoes erupt within hours. Donald is planning shock and awe on Russia's sanctions. Donald orders 2 nuclear submarines to be moved after highly provocative comments from ex-Russian leader. The U.S. struck by 4 more catastrophic flooding events. Grand Canyon's Dragon Bravo fire reaches megafire status, surpassing 100,000 acres. Donald tech giant creating AI that could surveil U.S. citizens, and the Gov is on it. And the Gov is in on it. Excuse me. So we are definitely seeing a lot of events going on here, guys. We are definitely seeing quakes happening in the Pacific Ring of Fire, but is also happening here in our country. New York was shaken. Southern California is shaking. There was a 3.0 magnitude in Yellowstone. I mean, we definitely seen something here, and I do believe that those in power, in the spotlight, not only Donald, but more than 140 countries are coming together. They want to split the Holy Land this coming September. At the same time, a lunar eclipse, yeah, we are definitely seeing Bible prophecy. Alright guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, we do have the Cash App link and a PayPal link in the comments box and also description box. Thank you again for your support. This coming September, the world will take one more dangerous step towards warning. At the UN General Assembly, a growing correlation of nations once counted as friends give me a second here. At the UN General Assembly, a growing coalition of nations once counted as friends of Holy Land were formally pushed to recognize a Palestinian state, Canada, France. Now the UK nations who once stood against terror, are now preparing to reward it with legitimacy, flags, and UN seats. Wow. All right. This is big here, guys. This is big. So make no mistake, this is not about peace. It's about power. It's about appeasing an ideology that has raised its young ones to hate the JEWS and the takeout of the Holy Land citizens. Follow me with the code words here. And it's about something even more sobering for believers. This is another step to fulfilling Bible prophecy. France, co-chairing a UN summit with Saudi Arabia, has confirmed it will recognize a Palestinian state this September. Canada, once a bold ally of Holy Land, has caved under pressure. linking recognition to value reforms within the palace authority. And the reason why, well, you got Ben. Ben is a madman. Everybody's waking up and saying, Ben, we not down with you, man. You wrong. And then you got Donald. Donald's not liking this here. Again, Donald seems like anybody that goes against Ben, you go against me too. It says here, in the UK has issued an ultimatum. Either Holy Land halt its operation in the Strip and abandons future annexation efforts, or London will proceed with recognition. These decisions are not occurring in isolation. Ireland, Norway, Spain, Slovenia, and others joined the chorus. In 2024, by this fall, more than 147 of the 193 UN member states will recognize a palace state. That's roughly 75% of the global community. In other words, the world is uniting to divide the land of Holy Land. For those who take the word of God seriously, this is no small diplomatic debate. Scripture warns repeatedly that dividing the land of Holy Land is a direct provocation against God's purposes. I will gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of the Jehoshaphat. There I will put them on trial for dividing up my land. Joel 3:2. On that day I will make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people, and all who try to lift it will hurt themselves. Zechariah 12:3. In their rush to impose a solution, the nations are sowing the seeds of divine wrath. They believe they are peacemakers. I told you about Donald. He called himself a leader, a peacemaker. They call themselves peacemakers. But in reality, they are playing with fire, eternal fire. Donald's playing fire with the bear, I'll tell you that. So this international movement eerily resembles the prophesied global alignment against Jerusalem. And though the final chapter of history has not yet arrived, we are watching the table being set. This is not just spiritually reckless, it's politically insane. Here are 5 reasons why the creation of a palace state in today's condition will lead to more lawlessness, not peace. Number 1, a generation taught to hate. The palace authority has spent decades glorifying lawlessness, naming a certain facility after the and broadcasting messages on state-run media. Follow me with the code words here, guys. The young ones of the Strip and the West Bank have not been raised for peace. They've been raised for, again, lawlessness, creating a state under this system. It's not justice. It is state-sponsored lawlessness. Number 2, terror, will get closer, not further. After the Holy Land withdrew from the Strip in 2005, it got rockets in return. Do we really believe that creating a T-state right next to the Holy Land will bring quiet? Recognition will embolden radicals, not restrain them. The front line will move from the border to the bedroom communities of Tel Aviv. This kind of reminds me of the book of Daniel. The beasts rising from the sea, and they all come as one. You got Persia, Babylon, you got Greece, and the Roman Empire. It seems like they all coming together. The Roman Empire, you guys already know, that's Europe. That is Europe right there, Roman Empire. And then you have you got Persians and the Babylonians, and all these went against Holy Land back in the Old Testament, all those empires. And the Holy Land used to pay high taxes to the Romans. It says here, number 3, the palace authority pays a lot of stuff here. I'm gonna skip, guys. Yes, you read that right. The PA operates a pay full slave policy, giving monthly stipends to the families of T who take out the JEWS. This isn't just an evil practice, it's taxpayer funded. Ooh. And yet the West is rushing to bless this group with full statehood. And at the same time, we're going to see a blood moon. Can this be a sign? Can this be a warning? The world is shaking. People need to wake up. Number 4, the West is rewarding the shed. Now, these group, Hamas, struck the Holy Land on October 2023, taking at least 1,200 and, again, kidnapping 250. In response, give me a second here, guys. In response, what has the international community done? Sanctions Holy Land, condemn its defense, and now rewarded the ideology that made those strikes possible by granting its supporter the keys to a nation. Number 5, no real difference between PA and Hamas. Let's be clear, why those groups HAMAS fires the rockets, you have the palace authorities writes the checks and cheers from the sidelines. The ideological difference is minimal. Both parties reject the JEWS state's right to exist. Both promote return fantasies that made the destruction of Holy Land recognition won't elevate, moderate. It will hand radicals a microphone. Number 6, Jerusalem will be the next biblical war. A recognized palace state will not be satisfied with the West. You know what? The heart of their campaign has always been Jerusalem, particularly East and the Temple Mount. Once statehood is secured, international pressure will mount to divide the holy city. That, according to Zechariah 14, is the line God himself will not allow the nations to cross without consequences. Wow. What are your thoughts, guys? This is what's coming September. This is what's coming September. The clock is ticking. Tick-tock. Tick-tock. And I'm not talking about the app. All right, so we are living in days of global deception. What is being solid as peace is the fact the rewards of what is being presented as diplomacy is in truth a direct challenge to God's covenant with Holy Land. The nation of the earth may gather to vote, legislate, and divide. But the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob will not be mocked. His promises still stand, and those who seek to divide what he has declared indivisible will find themselves facing something far more fearsome than public opinion, the judgment of the Lord of hosts. Let the church be watchful, let the people of God be vocal, and let every believer remember the fate of nation is not determined in the UN, but in the throne room of heaven. Wow. That was very powerful right there. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we also gonna see a lunar eclipse or a blood moon. Now give me a second here, guys. Look at this. Look at this. On the night of September the 7th through the 8th, 2025, a total lunar eclipse, often called a blood moon, will be visible to a large portion of the world's population. Approximately 7 billion people, or about 85% of the global population, will have the opportunity to witness this event. Now, let's stop here for a second. So, you have almost the entire world, well, not almost, but again, more than half, I think. 144 countries or more are coming together to divide the Holy Land. That's a lot of country in September. At the same time, almost the entire world, again, you see how it's lining up? Approximately 7 billion people will see the blood moon. This, I do believe it is connected to the Holy Land. At the same time, we are being shaken. The Pacific Ocean is getting snapped, with all these earthquakes, flash flood, and so many things, volcanic activity. I think we need to kind of slow down here. And again, I believe that God is involved in this huge biblical event going on right now. So again, blood moon will be visible to a large portion of the world's population. Approximately 7 billion people, or about 85% of the global population, will have the opportunity to witness this event. Wow. These are amazing times of Bible prophecy. So when will it happen? The total eclipse, or the blood moon, will occur on the night of September 7th and into the early hours of September 8th. Now, where will it be visible? The eclipse will be visible in Asia, Western Australia, parts of Europe, Africa, and Eastern Australia. While not in North or South America, some phases may be visible from the Pacific and Atlantic areas. How many people will see it? Approximately 7 billion people. And it seems like most of it is going to be in the other side of the world. Will be visible to see at least some part of the eclipse. How long will it last? The total eclipse will last for over an hour. Woo! Giving ample time to observe the reddish hue of the moon. And this is where we at right now. This is where we at. What are your thoughts, guys? Leave comments down below. At the same time, again, at the very beginning, I'll show you all the those links, things that happen in the world, and I did make videos of those stories. But we definitely see a lot of shaking happening in our time, and the clock is ticking. And September just around the corner. Will they divide the Holy Land? We shall see. Thank you so much for watching. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Once again, guys, $5 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream once a week. We talk about things that we cannot talk about in the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for He's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.